What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C. And this particular video, y'all, oops, sorry, my bad. I will be reviewing, recapping, Actually Being Mary, it's not Actually Being Jane, Being Mary Jane, season finale, part 1 or whatever. I'll label it, y'all. I'll do just like I did last time. If y'all been, shout out to my YouTube fam. And if you're not already my YouTube fam, just subscribe button below. It's right there. And like and share this video. But y'all, the last video, the only video I did reviewing of this season, recapping altogether, was actually the season premiere, episode 1. And I know some of y'all probably like, what the heck has happened? You know, if y'all, this is y'all first time watching, or y'all haven't watched a lot of my updates. But yeah, I'm trying to, I have some time space. I still got a paper due next Saturday. But I'm able to, like, I at least wanted to review the season finale broken down 2 episodes. I've been watching Ashley Miller's, I think she's been the only YouTuber, shout out to her of course, that's been reviewing, you know, these shows. I mean, this season. Because I know, I think my YouTube cousin, Miss Nika, some more love. Shout out to her, those 2 as well. Thank my other YouTube cousin, Tam G as well. Raymond Jackson, you always got to plug in the fam and your fellow YouTubers. And, oh, and I think Bonnie Blue was as well. And then Forest Rocks, shout out to her, also was kind of reviewing it in Black Girls on TV. I think she had to do a couple weeks. But I'm just saying, I'm sorry to be ranting. But yeah, but let's get into this. Now, one of the things is Being Mary Jane in the last episode, we seen that basically what Mary Jane said about calling that woman a her hit, she now has went viral checking her by calling her an ugly black woman. You know, youngest brother Paul, you know, she gets a call from him, and they're talking about, she became viral. She's all over Twitter. They made an all-tune version of her song, I mean, this term, and just mixing it, because he said you got a new song out and everything. And here she's getting all this attention. He even tells her, the mama up here telling everybody, tell her about it at the bakery, church, fish fry, whatever, about this accomplishment. And it's like, you know, Mary Jane's like, okay, I've been in the game about at least a decade as far as my job and everything else and got this going on. As soon as this comes up and I say one darn little thing, all of a sudden, mama's like, that's my baby. And Bob was like, well, you know she is. So, yeah. So Carla and her are talking, and then, you know, Gary, you know, before then, Cynthia does come back, you know, talk to Mary Jane, and she basically knows, like, you know, I wasn't really sick. Basically, she's letting her know that they're going to use Mary Jane to basically kick her ass off, like, you know, use her as a weapon. Like, you know, I know they're trying to get rid of my ass, and Mary Jane's trying to be nice, like, no, and be optimistic or whatever bullshit with her. And it's trying to tell, like, no, Cynthia, they not going to do, you are the face of this network. And she like, well, you know what, I'm old as hell, I've been with ABC 18 years, blah, blah, blah. She's basically saying, considering that they're basically getting rid of her ass, she's too old, and basically she just feels like she's not going to make a comeback when she leaves here, but she already knows there's a possibility they're about to get rid of her, right? And Mary Jane, like I said, doesn't think that way. So Gary gets them, her and Carla up there to Cherie, I think, or the head bitch in charge. And she got this nice, you know, leather couches and everything, just sitting down, and she just has a smile on her face, but it's kind of like, you know, it's one of those smiles like you don't know they're gonna hug you or stab you in the back with an actual knife type of look. And she's just like, you know what, you know, you did so well, blah, blah, we're actually getting rid of Cynthia. Oh, do you want the job? Are you going to part-time? Carla's like, oh, that's excellent. Yes, we want to go. Okay, we'll have the paperwork ready next. Okay, bitch, let's go and talk to you. But first, Carla, and can you leave the room for a second, you and Gary? And me and Mary Jane is just going to talk right now. I mean, that's not really, I think her name's Cherie, is talking to her. And she's just like, you know what, those are some lovely shoes. I just wanted to tell you that. Are those Gucci? Because, you know, at first, prior to them when they're having a talk, she's just saying how all this popularity that, you know, has gotten for Being Mary Jane and all this other stuff from this, I don't know why I keep saying Being Mary Jane. I just could just call her Mary Jane. And she's just simply like so astonished with everything that's going on. And she's just even saying, but even though she's not up on, she's up on against the money and the ratings and shit, but she's not up on, you know, the Twitter, somebody who's runs the Twitter and stuff like that and everything, the tweets or whatever she's calling it. But she lets him know she knows some shoes, and Mary Jane like, I love your shoes. And she's basically like it is, you know, translation in me paraphrasing my words. Well, let's just cut to the chase, bitch. I'm going to tell you this. Basically, we're getting rid of Cynthia. We're pulling it in, and you know, I know Gary thinks some type of way. So when you see him, he speaks really on my behalf. So when you get in prime time, you know, basically lose the dashiki, you know, I'm black and my proud, you know, fro and picking your head type of shit, bitch, because we're not playing with you. That's basically what she really wanted to say. But she just like, can you tone down, you know, the black and my proud and, you know, your topics in the way, can you change them? Okay, thank you. Get out of my office. Gary, let's come and talk. So when she talks to him or whatever, here she's basically like this. You know what? We're going to have to deal with this ugly black woman's bullshit. I hope she don't bring it to networks. And Gary's basically asking her, you know, is this a good idea? Talking to, you know, head bitch in charge, also known as Sherry, right? I might mispronounce the name. But she's like this. No, I don't think it's a good idea. But basically, even though she's getting rid of Cynthia, she also is looking at the popularity train and all this, you know, ratings and money, also known as, and, you know, good reputation, thumbs up that she's getting. I mean, the network is getting. So, what she's looking at from this angle. If we hire her in, also getting conversion, affirmative action, maybe, that would look good on the board with the diversity hire. And then she also brings up that if she, you know, hire, you know, if she's like this, we gonna test her out and she on some stuff and don't fit into place, we'll replace her too. So even though it's possibility of promotion and stuff like that, it's basically testing. Dillbeer and Mary Jane still has maybe a couple humps to get over. All right. And then, you know, even Cynthia later on in this episode, you know, came to her and she already let her know, like, I already know what's going on and how, you know, because also I think it was supposed to be told to Cynthia ain't supposed to know about this stuff, right? And Mary Jane didn't want to up there break the woman's heart, whatever. You know, it's like she felt like, yay, kind of ecstatic, but she doesn't know if the promotion is really, you know, this new, you know, doing primetime promotion is really worth it. But when Cynthia already know, like towards in the episode, she's like, I already know what's going on. People started acting nice to you. And, you know, I already know that this stuff is about to happen. I'm about to, you know, basically, you know, get fired. Because, you know, that's what the Sherry said. She had 2 more weeks and she don't even know it. But actually, Cynthia did. She kind of hit it like Mary Jane and then. Like, they're going to use her. And she was right. If she would have made a bet, she would have won that night. Okay? So, there we go with that situation. So, even though she has a dilemma, we have that going on. We have a little quick scene with her and Sheldon. Like I said, it really wasn't much in this part 1 season finale part. But here's what happened, y'all. So, we have her talking to her bestie, Mark. But this is after she goes to Sheldon. Sheldon's up here got this new entertainment system. And she even is cracking on him like, oh, well, you know, I guess, you know, you got the problems. You messing with 25-year-olds on young and stuff like that. You know, and stuff like that. And kind of just like downplaying him or whatever. So then he goes outside and he has these flicks. And I guess they foreign, whatever. To Sir with Love, whatever the hell they got. To Sir with Love is not a foreign film. I'm just saying. She basically let him know like, oh, this is nice. This can definitely get the panties if, you know, I barely just got my, barely can get in the club when, if, you know, I just turned 21 and shit. But this doesn't work for me. Better yet, this is corny. This is ordinary Barker corny. Popcorn. Just corny. Just all around. Just corn. Just fields of corn. You're just corny for this. And you could tell Shannon was kind of looking like, well, damn, like, whatever. And then it just seemed like the next day she's talking to Mark. I don't know if they're at her house or his house. But basically, she's letting it be known, like, you know, she said what she said, but she was trying to apologize, make it seem like to Sheldon, even at that time, like, okay, it shouldn't be a big deal. I just sit here and call you corny. But Marcus letting her know, like, you know, the woman can basically, her words can uplift or bring down a man, okay? And then we've had a little extra bonus, because here's Mark admitting to her, like, he had one time in college, I don't know if it was his first encounter, when he, you know, first encounter, whatever, himself or with the guy he was with. He was kissing him or right, whatever. And he was like, I already slept with a woman. And here go Mary Jane, like, wait a minute. So when did this happen? And, you know, kind of like he got off the subject and then he went back to the story. So he's talking about when they getting ready to get it in, whatever, he's in the door and butt ass naked, and the guy just laughs. And then, of course, it never happened. And I guess he figured, I guess the guy told him or something like that, side game. But basically, that was a deal breaker to anything else happened after. And that's what he was trying to tell her, is basically by you saying those certain words, it's kind of almost the same way it's laughing. And, you know, that just kills the mood and kills anything that possibly happened if it used to happen. Either it died that night or will fade eventually in the very near future of what could have been. So she's working on sending him a text message, having a proofread, spell check, and everything, but she don't know the right words to say. So she asks Mark. Mark sits there and tells her, well, you know, I know you should apologize, blah, 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 and this and this and that, and whatever. So 24 hours later, in the process of her, you know, deciding, I guess, they're still pending on, you know, her going this prime time, her and Carla, but they still looking at it as a, you know, pre-celebration and all. All of a sudden, she is just so, like, over it. 24 hours later, he sends thank you with a period after it. And she is so offended because she's thinking, like, you mean to tell me that's all he had to say? I knew he was going to get irritated. He was going to irritate me. I can't believe this. Woo, 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 woo. And then we'll get to the last scene before they start part 2, whatever. Because I want to go to Carla's situation real quick. Because like I said, it seemed like the episode, it wasn't bad, but it flew by very quickly, personally to me. Like I said, Mary Jane, even before she went to job, she got autographs and fans stuff going, you know, autographs and all this other stuff. People trying to get her on Instagram, you know, that type of stuff, right? But Carla's situation, you know, I ain't gonna, like I said, I've kind of been half-assed with a lot of the majority episodes, just been looking at the reviews when I had the chance. But Carla goes and visits her parents, right? And her mom turns out been like texting like over 14,000 times because, you know, she's originally from New York. And the mom finally lets her in, you know, when she has time, because her dad's sitting up there watching TV, yelling and complaining, you know, watching a basketball game or something, right? And the mom informs her, you know, like, he's trying to sell the house. You know, I work very hard for my house. I ain't trying to move no house or no, you know, house he talking crazy and all this other, just sitting the TV talking about my house. And then her younger sister, I think his younger sister, you know, is basically, you know, I guess staying on them, and she's kind of unemployed hairdresser and is mad about it. And the little sister is thinking about her sister, is thinking that might be a good idea, that they got to sell the house. They just got to sell the house. But Carla's like this is stay home, blah, blah, blah. First they were talking shit and whatever, you know, about, you know, basically that's wrong, and, you know, about the selling the home, he trying to sell the home and everything else. And then they basically hug it out because they realize they miss each other and everything else. And she's like, well, I talked to you and stuff. I think the little sister, but she calls, like, I mean, Carla, them, they basically agreed or whatever, that it's not the same because she's not able to visit much. We already know she's had to put a career over everything, and we do mean everything. Now, I think it's the next morning, whatever, she's talking to her father, and her father does a little confessing. She's trying to get him, but she's like, you know what, I can do a check, just tell me the number and I can save the house, whatever, you know, because it's y'all place, whatever. Because also, I forgot to mention, when her and her sister were having a little argument before, they just had the kumbaya, you my sister, I love you forever moment. She even let him know that she felt like, because of their dad doing that stuff, she's like, Mama, we'll bust her ass, work hard for this place, and you mean to tell me Dad trying to pull that buckery? Hell no. And that's what the sister was like, well, you saying that stuff? She just felt kind of offended, but like I said, it crashed over. But still, you know, I don't know honestly what the dad did, but as far as his career, professional or whatever. But here, she's trying to offer him his money. The dad says like he owes some guy or something named Joe B. Smith or something some money. He handed him over the deed or whatever. So what he's been doing is to stay in the house is to pay rent. Here, I don't know how much rent costs, but it must be high as hell, but that look like a nice ass decent house. And in New York too. So he sat there and said this along them lines, talking about some well, now he been paying rent and scraping, getting their savings, and they barely out and stuff. So they're going to have to move out because basically this mess up thing where he signed the deed. And Carla was like, why you didn't tell me? You could have been, if you had these problems, you could have been had it straightened out. And it's a pride thing because the father's like this. How do I feel? You know, you have to look from the angle. I'm asking my children for money. He didn't want to do that. But now it's, you call in a pickle or whatever, because now it's his situation, whereas they most 9 times 10 will have to move out. And she's just stuck, you know, because, you know, they were talking about it much like, I think Carla brought it to her dad. And he said, well, you never lost. And she was like, lost? Let me tell you about, you think I didn't lose, I always won? She's like this, because of my career, everything, I have lost everything, went down to my marriage, to my kids, everything. I've been eating and drinking and breathing and sleeping this career I've been having. I've been working too much. So now she's just stuck. So we see kind of in the later scene, almost towards the end of this episode, we got Carla and Mary Jane talking. And she just basically like this. They, drinking up the wine in red cups. And, Mary Jane's asking what she's going to do in her situation. And she can't even do the rent, but, pay the rent or whatever. But she's going to do what she's going to have to do. She might send her sons to the public school from now on. But Mary Jane was saying, like, well, possibility, since if I'm getting that promotion and we get that prime time money, that might help. But at the same time, Mary Jane is saying, like, she don't know if they're taking it or not yet, but she's still really considering. So the last scene, like I said, it really wasn't that many things in this episode. She liked this. She goes to show and say, you know what? I was just checking up on you. There's been a couple 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. And I seen your message. So I basically wanted to see everything was okay. And sorry, I said, whatever, her apology. And here Sheldon's like, okay, I understand. You know what? Come back another day, tomorrow, something like that. No, he'd be like, I'll call you. And basically it's like, okay, basically, bitch, get off my porch type of thing. He didn't say all that, but she was just like this. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, and that's pretty much how that ends for that one. I'm sorry about that, y'all, but that's much is going on. And by the way, y'all gonna watch, I thought the final season of the game already happened. I didn't know the final season coming to June 3rd. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, because the last season, a couple of my YouTube cousins were like kind of talking about like it wasn't worth watching. I honestly didn't watch the last one at all. So yeah, but who knows? Maybe it might go out a bang in a good way, or it might be a hot ass mess. We don't know. But anyways, y'all have a pleasant week, pleasant night, pleasant weekend, and I definitely see our next video. Let me go ahead and watch part 2, episode 12, season 2, and try to get this up as soon as possible so I can go to bed. All right.